Alright guys, we have pushed wrapped up at the Dragon's Lair. Actually a little bit smaller of a gym than I anticipated, and it was absolutely fucking jammed when we first got in here. It's a little bit quieter now, but that's because it's getting closer and closer to the finals, right? Because it is 6:22 now, and finals is on at 7, so we're just eating our post-workout meal there now, and I think we're just going to head straight there, to be honest. We reckon the show probably won't start until like 7:30ish, but you know, just to be sure, we will head over and get there nice and early. Don't think we'll have time to shower or anything like that, unfortunately, but look, it is what it is. But I'm absolutely buzzing for the finals now. I felt shit today before I came in and actually trained, and now I feel way better, Don't you as well, Mark? Amazing. Mark feels a lot better. Look at him, he's huge already. No, that's so. How are you feeling, Chloe?
I feel great.
Good. Oh yeah, Kuba and Meg are still over there, and Guy's sister Nino's over in the corner as well. So Chloe actually loves him from the podcast, so we both got photos of him as well. So yeah, pretty sick. Good few people in here today. But I think that's the Dragon's Lair wrapped up for us. I think we'll probably train somewhere else now, and the next day we do train. But yeah, iPhone footage again for you there during the workout, and I'll probably try and get some of that again later on, but I'll just try and enjoy the finals as well.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the
Finals time, baby.
We're going to start things off with our Bikini Olympia lineup. Our top 10 is decided by our judges at the pre-judging held over at the expo today. Let's send it down to the judges. Sandy.
Thank you, Bob. I need 4, Romina. 9, Laurelie. 10, Amy. 21, Phoebe. 28, Janet. 38, Isa. Face forward and walk it back.
She gon' make you move to Miami.
Hey ladies, thank you very much. And take a step. Maureen and Daraja switch. Jen and Ashley switch. Okay, let's do a 180. Face that back wall.
She gon' make you move to Miami.
Walk halfway back, hold it when you get there.
Gentlemen, front double bicep. Bicep. Back lat spread. Side tricep.
Gentlemen, please take the third place award, the Olympia bronze medal, the check for $100,000, and present it to Nick Walker
And I got a really big team, and they need some really big rings. They need some really nice things. Better be.
and Derek Lunsford. Please take the first place award to Sandow, the Olympia gold medal, the check for $400,000, and the title of 2022 Mr. Olympia. To our winner and new Olympia champion,
Good morning, YouTube. So it is the next day after the Olympia finals, which have been wrapped up, and it was absolutely incredible. So such a surreal experience. Absolutely loved it. Obviously there was a couple of upsets, or what I thought would have been upsets. In the bikini, I thought Jennifer Dory looked untouchable, to be honest, but Maureen Banspaskito, whatever her name is, she won. Now she is actually incredible as well, to be fair. So like, look, she is a good Miss Bikini Olympia, but I just thought Jennifer Dory just looked so good. But with the bikini judging, it's so like iffy, you know, like maybe she was too lean, like maybe like her glutes were too hard or something. Laura Lee, who I thought would be battling for first place, she actually came 5th. Now, I think that potentially could have been a little bit of a political decision due to all the kind of, you know, fraud stuff that came out about her. And if you don't know about that, I'm sure just type in Laura Lee fraud on YouTube and you'll see the big video that her past coach kind of put out, right? So that could have been a political decision. Also, moving Rami into 5th place could have been a political decision, because I don't think ever in the history of the Olympia a reigning Olympia champion has moved from 1st to 5th place. That is the first time that has ever happened. So that's a little bit crazy, and I think it could be because he didn't show up to the Pittsburgh Pro for posing earlier during the year. Obviously the Pittsburgh Pro is Jim Mannion's show that he actually promotes and organizes, and if you don't know who Jim Mannion is, then again just Google him. He's like one of the godfathers of bodybuilding pretty much. So Rami never turned up for his guest posing at that show, which he was obliged to do because he's Mr. Olympia, and he never even told them why he wouldn't be there. He just didn't show up. So I think that left a bit of a sour taste in their mouth, and I think after that they're probably pushing him out of that top spot. Now, aside from that, I do think the judging was very, very fair in the open and in the classic and in all the other classes, to be honest, right? There was a new Miss Olympia from Brazil. She was absolutely incredible. And there was a couple of other upsets. Aaron Banks came 1st place in the men's physique. He is actually unreal, right? I don't really follow men's physique that much, as if you follow me on YouTube you probably know, but I much prefer his physique to Brandon Hendrickson's. Brandon Hendrickson's very small and like compact and like kind of a little bit blocky for me. Aaron Banks is like tall, he's got this like really nice taper, his back is absolutely fucking incredible. So he was buzzing when he won. Funnily enough, actually, Gaz Davies, one of the guys that's over here with us, Cuba's videographer, he's seen him before the finals, just like downing shots at the bar with his family before he got on stage. So I'd say he's a bit of a mad bastard. But yeah, delighted for him that he won the men's physique Olympia. I'm hoping Buendia will come back now and reclaim the throne next year, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, really good night. Obviously in the Open, you know, Hadi took first place. Delighted for him as well, because I think he's been seriously overlooked the last 2 years. I have actually said the last 2 years I would have given the title to Hadi. I think he was the most complete, condition-wise, you know, structure-wise, shape-wise, etc. Delighted for him. Even in his victory speech, he gave a really good message, because obviously he's from Iran and there's a lot of shit going over there at the moment with, like, you know, the way women have been treated and stuff like that. So he gave a really good speech. Obviously, you know, it was in Arabic or whatever language they speak, but his translator translated it, and the message is basically just like, you know, we're all human, we should all treat each other the same, etc, etc. So I'm sure Hadi behind it all is like a really, really nice guy, and every single year he's had to jump through like major hoops to actually get to the Olympia. He's always struggled with getting a visa to get into the country. There's a couple of Olympics he hasn't been able to compete at because of his visa issues. So delighted for him to come and claim the title this year. Outside of that, Derek Lunsford coming second place, moving up from 212, coming second place in his Olympia debut. That is fucking unheard of. Even Phil Heath, right, who is an 8-time Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath in his Olympia debut came third place, and then he didn't win it for 3 years after that, okay? I genuinely think Derek Lunsford is going to win the Olympia next year. He's still only 28 this year. He'll win it next year at 29, and he could easily go on like a Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman style trot and just absolutely dominate the men's physique, or the Open men's bodybuilding division for years to come. Because out of all the people I've seen, when he came on stage and he came out and he just hit his front relaxed and then hit his front double, me and Mark just looked at each other and we were like, wow, he looked absolutely insane. Like, he had the exact same condition that he had last year, but just plus, like, I don't know, 17 pounds or something like that. So I think with another year's off season, obviously because he came top 5, he doesn't have to do a show next year, I think he's going to come back bigger and better. And if Hani brings him in the same condition, which he does, as you know, Hani got first and second in the men's Open, and he obviously won with Chris Bumstead in the Classic, like, Derek is just he's gonna be the new guy, which I'm delighted about, because he's actually my favorite Open physique. Because for me, bodybuilding is about the balance of size, shape, structure, and conditioning, and Derek has all those in abundance. Like, when you see him on stage, like, you see him beside Nick Walker, right? And Nick is a freak and all that. When Nick just looks blocky, he's ugly to look at. He's got all those fucking varicose veins everywhere, and Derek is just polished. He just like has this tiny waist, this like huge taper, lines in his glutes, and he just looks incredible, man. So delighted for Derek. And obviously, you know, there was a couple other upsets. I had anticipated Hunter being the top 3. I think there was a little bit of a fuck up with the coaching there, so he actually dropped down to 7th place, so he's outside the top 6. Samson, delighted for him, came in 6th place, met him after, shook his hand, told him I was delighted for him. He spoke to me and Chloe, really, really nice guy. Ian, outside of the top 10 in 11th place, so not a good result for him. And obviously Michael Crizzo was right behind Ian, one placing below, especially after all the shit Ian gave Crizzo this year, so I don't think he'll be too happy with that. But this year's Olympia, there was a lot of hype around it. It was like one of the biggest, most stacked ones in years, and I think it definitely lived up to the hype. So absolutely incredible. What a surreal experience. Yeah, what more can I say? Oh, the Classic, Chris Bumstead. Hani brought him in at his best ever this year. I think there's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation about Chris earlier on during the year. You know, now he's doing all this business stuff. You know, even last year when he won, he took 4 months off, like everything, like off, like cycle. He was barely even training, like all this other sort of stuff. And then he was obviously like traveling loads this year. He was doing a lot of, you know, businessy related stuff outside of bodybuilding, and everyone was kind of asking question marks, myself included. But he came in, man, and he stepped on stage, and honestly, he was untouchable in every single pose. He won every single pose easily from all angles. He looked absolutely insane. And in his speech, he said, I am not retiring yet. So I think he's going to come back next year. I think he's going to claim number 5
and I really think he could win another 2 or 3 after that if he just stays on his shit, honestly, because he's still young enough, you know. Ramon, really impressed with Ramon. You know, a lot of guys don't really like his physique. They like Urs's physique better, blah, 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 blah. I've always said, and these were my predictions a while ago, there was a couple of things I said, Chris is going to be first place, Ramon is going to be second place because he's the most comparable to Chris, and I think he's better than all the rest of them. I said Urs was going to be third, and I said Urs was going to be behind Ramon, and I said Terence would fall behind those 2 guys, and if it were up to me, Terence wouldn't even be in my top 6. And lo and behold, I think he wasn't in the top 5, but he was like 6th place. So there we go, you know, I spoke it into existence. Call me fucking Mystic Mac, because I predict these things. So some of my, you know, I suppose some of my predictions weren't too far off at all. Obviously the Open was a complete toss-up this year, so, you know, I got it wrong with Hunter, but I got it right with a lot of other things. But yeah, man, absolutely sick. So anyway, wrapping up the Olympia spiel, and we are off to train in, actually I don't even know where. It won't be in the Dragon's Lair, but I got this sick top in the Dragon's Lair yesterday, so I really, really like this. They were all super nice, super friendly in there. It was absolutely jammed though, but as I spoke about yesterday. Chloe is currently behind me here. She's doing the meal prep for me, absolute legend. So I'd be lost without her the last couple of days, as I've been trying to do a lot of work, catching up with clients, obviously because of the time difference and stuff like that. So she's been prepping a lot of my meals for the day, which has been an absolute godsend. So we're waiting to hear back from Mark Hodson just to see what Kuba is doing, where we're training today. We have pull on the cards. Really looking forward to that, as I'm feeling like a lot better and like much fresher today, after like actually getting a good night's sleep last night. Like we slept into like 8:30. Last couple of days we've had to be up at like 6:30, prepping meals, gone to get to the expo at 9, rushing all around the place, and it was just hectic. So today, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to be able to chill out, going to be able to explore Vegas a little bit, do a couple more things, and yeah, it should be a really nice kind of end to the trip. But there we go, guys. I think this has been a long clip. It's been like 10 minutes long, so I think I'm going to like wrap this video up here, and then the next video is probably going to be, you know, the pull session and just a couple other Vegas-y bits and some more lifestyle-y bits that like myself and Chloe and potentially Mark and Jem get up to over the last couple of days. So the sun is coming in on me heavy here now, proper golden hour, but I've actually dropped like 2 kilos since I got over here, even though I've been having 7 meals a day and a lot of extra calories. But I haven't had any androgens, haven't had any GH, haven't had any Slin in almost a week now, because obviously our suitcases still aren't here. So like, what can you do? I think that weight will bump back up once I get all those back in play. But yeah, I'm just going to keep eating, just going to keep training hard, soaking in all the knowledge off everyone. Got to train with Meg yesterday, which was very good. She's actually really good to train with, knows her shit, you know, rinsed me on my execution on a couple of things, gave me a couple of pointers, and it made a big difference. So yeah, absolutely sick vibe over here. Love it. So what do you reckon, C Chisel? Kind of the trip so far? Sun is coming in on me. Hold on. I'll bring you over to the people so they can actually hear you. What you reckon?
I'm trying to measure out his mints here.
She's trying to measure out my mints and get my pineapple prepped for me here now. Oh no, my pineapple's already there.
Oh, they're my meals.
They're her meals. Okay. Woo. Sorry. Right, guys. Too long. As always, I'm as succinct as ever, and I generally don't tend to rant and ramble on in these videos. So I'll leave that there. Going to actually try and get editing these videos now, as I think I've got like 3 of them already. So I need to start banging them out so there's not a massive backlog in them. But yeah, we'll catch up with you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, drop me a like, drop me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. And we'll catch you in the next one.